This is TWiT.
Hey, what did you think about the Jacquard news? Project Jacquard, which is Google's, I guess it was I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 years ago at Google I/O. Google showed off with its ATAP division, which is kind of its experimental technology division. Project Jacquard, which is essentially fabric that has conductive electronics interwoven into the fabric. So you can do things like make the sleeve, which is the case with the Levi jacket here, make the sleeve touch sensitive. So it can connect to and sync with your phone so that, in this case, while you're riding your bicycle around New York City, instead of having to like look at your phone to switch songs, you just brush your sleeve and it switches to the next track. Well, now we're finally seeing the fruits of all of that effort with a $350 jacket called Levi's Commuter Trucker jacket. The non-tech version costs $148. This is the one that has Project Jacquard interwoven into the sleeves. And I got to ask you guys, $350 worth it? Is this a jacket that you would buy? What do you think? I take that as a no.
That's
No,
a
but
tough
you know,
sell.
okay. So you know what I would buy? And here's, I would buy actually Jacquard, probably not interwoven into my couch because my couch is going to last for, you know, hopefully like 10 years, maybe longer. And I'm a little doubtful of the technology, but like a little flap that I could stick on my couch, like a little couch doily that has this capability, that might be kind of fun. But in a jacket, that kind of cost for, no, I'm much more excited about actually Apple's AirPod plus its watch for something like that, where I can just ask Siri to do something for me, or you know, get Google so I can just talk to it while I'm biking. That feels much more reasonable.
I like the idea of a Google doily.
A Google doily.
Go on the record with that.
And it's also the case that like for $350, you're locked into one look, and maybe you really enjoy Springsteen, or maybe that really fits with, you know, your personal fashion statement. But if I had a Google doily, then I could, you know, or Google, you know, just a piece of fabric you could wear, like when you're running, a headband or something, then you could, you know, you could have it be modular.
Oh, right.
Jacquard sweatbands. Oh my gosh, you guys. That's what we need.
Go like this. Man,
Well, I
I'm
was
going
thinking
hard.
sweatband.
And you sweat. I was thinking headbands.
Wonder Twin power activate. But
Yeah.
That would work too, actually. Man, there's a whole lineup here. Do we think that the potential of Jacquard will take it that far? I mean, this is the first product. It took a long time. Now, mind you, they say they waited until this fall. They probably could have released it sooner, but the fashion industry works on a different timetable, right? This is a jacket that's perfect for the fall season, so they kind of had to wait until now to release it, and it definitely has a very specific target audience, you know, of bicyclists, essentially. But, I mean, do we see Jacquard going in large numbers to other types of wearables, or is this one of those projects, one of those Google projects that it's neat that they did it, it's neat that they tried it, but probably not going to see much more of it?
So I don't know if you saw this story. I think it was on the rundown about it. You can't wash it more than 10 times.
Yes.
So that feels like maybe actual clothing isn't the right venue. Although, you know, I don't know if I've washed my jackets 10 times.
Yeah, that's my question. Yeah.
So fair, but if there's a durability question about it, it's very expensive to pay for $35 between washing. So again, clothes may not be the right form factor. I don't think doilies probably are either, but trying to figure out some sort of a place to put fabric, connectivity in fabric is actually a really cool idea. And I think it'd be interesting in like cars, like the upholstery in cars, maybe. Armrests in furniture, again. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, as far as like embedding it into things that aren't clothes, it would have to be embedded into something like a car. Actually makes a whole lot of sense because you're only ever really sitting in that driver's seat. Like there's always someone sitting in the driver's seat. So having a panel, you know, that is responsive in that way, like it's always going to get used because there's no other way to do it. Like a couch or a sofa actually, prime example of, you had connectivity built into the armrest of a sofa. That only works if you're sitting on that side of the sofa. If you're on the other side, it's way more inconvenient for you to have to get up and go over there and do the thing.
Wait, who says you can't build it on both arms? Come on.
I suppose so.
We're weaving technology into fabric here. Come on.
That's true. It's a good point. What do you think, Matt?
Well, and there's a $50 kit called Makey that lets you hook up, 2 alligator clips to almost anything like bananas, and then you can use that as a sensor input. So I feel like if you could make the fabric be, compatible with a system like that, so it's like a little label like Scotchgard, except it's, controllable fabric or something like that, then yeah, you got it on both sides of the couch. You could have it in the upholstery on the car. It just doesn't feel like you got to lock it into one platform of a particular item of clothing. So,
yeah, for me, it feels very neat that you're able to do this. I just don't know how essential it is, but maybe I'm not the right person to think about, like, the future of technology in that regard, right? Like, when I think about it embedded into a couch, I'm like, well, what do I need that for? I either use my voice, or, voice is actually very convenient now that I have my Google Home in the living room. If I really need to turn off the lights or turn on the TV, I can do it with my voice. Do I choose to? No, because I always have that remote there that does everything that I need it to do, and that just is fine. But maybe that's just me looking through now lens, remote. Not later lens. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So for the people who lose their remotes all the time,
perfect.
It's now your couch.
Your couch is now your remote. Yes. I like that.
The biggest remote you have in your home is your couch. Let's hope you don't replace your couch very often. And also, washing your couch. How many washes until it stops working?
Or how many times you're going to have to update the firmware on your couch? Or,
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, my couch has malware, so...
Actually, what this means, though, is that in the future, we will have to plug our couches into the wall socket.
Yes.
This is a thing we are not used to yet. We get a couch, we need a wall socket to plug it into. Otherwise, that technology is not going to work. It needs to be powered somehow.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be energy harvesting. Like, there's no kinetic energy on your couch.
No, you're just sitting there.
and then the next generation, they'll have all these features built into the couch, and so you'll have your kids telling you, well, have you rebooted your couch? And you're like,
right,
no, how do I do that? Control Alt Delete on your couch. It's a pain. It's a pain.
Man, I don't like the future at all. The future sounds inconvenient.
We're back to doilies. That's really what it boils down to. Grandma's Google doily.
All right. I like that. I think that's a good direction.